In a new lawsuit, she accuses the Dream of rape, sexual battery, and sex trafficking. The lawsuit was filed yesterday in Los Angeles. Shenanigans reportedly made music under the name Channy Monroe. She claims she set the Dream.
Time Grammy-winning singer and producer The Dream has collaborated with the likes of Beyonce and Rihanna, but a new lawsuit filed in California yesterday details disturbing accusations involving someone who says they considered him a mentor. CBS News national correspondent Traff1ck1ng Duncan has the latest.
Y'all, the feds seem to be getting closer and closer to exposing Jay-Z and his shady activities, and it looks like they are taking down people in his inner circle one by one, because now another one of his business partners and collaborators, The Dream, just got exposed for some Diddy-level shenanigans, and at this point, Jay-Z should see the writing on the wall because it looks like he's on the run. Rumor has it that Jay-Z allegedly funded The Dream's scheme to hurt women, and now that the chickens have come to roost, he is running for his life because he knows that the feds are coming for him next. Y'all better come on in the room and have a seat because we have some fresh abruti about Jay-Z and The Dream, because it's not looking good for either of them.
Sean Carter is just as bad as the diddler. And I know that for a fact. I got the scars to prove it.
Now y'all remember when Beyonce said, "I don't care if we on the run, as long as I'm next to you." Well, that aged like sour milk because Beyonce is not trying to stick around for the drama, because there's a storm of rumor after rapper and singer The Dream was named in a lawsuit. Yeah, both Queen Bee and her hubby Jay-Z are tangled up in this whole web of mess, making it the second time in a few months that somebody in their crew has been caught up in some serious trouble. Now, word on the streets is that the feds are closing in on Jay-Z by targeting his inner circle, and allegedly Beyonce's feeling all that heat. A couple of months ago, it was rumored that she was reportedly packing up her bags and making moves because she could see the writing on the wall. No Destiny's Child, and it was not looking pretty. And if Jay-Z really is next, y'all, it's gonna be a wild ride because he's also been accused of some pretty shady stuff. Y'all, every time we think that Hollywood has hit rock bottom, it somehow finds a new low we didn't even know existed. Cat Williams nailed it when he said that 2024 is the year of reckoning. And it all started with Diddy, and now it's like a Hollywood horror story playing out in real time. One by one, more men in the industry are being exposed for creepy and aggressive behavior towards women. Now, the latest revelation came from the rapper and singer The Dream being outed for similar misconduct. Channy Monroe, a former artist under The Dream, filed the lawsuit and didn't hold back. To make things even more intense, she got the same lawyers who represented Cassie in her case against Diddy. You know what that means. Things are about to get seriously heated because these lawyers do not mess around, and you know they're about to come for that money. But what on earth is going on in Hollywood? There seems to be some deep-seated issues. In 2014, Channy left the Netherlands and moved to the US with dreams of becoming a star. She was thrilled with representatives of The Dream contacting her via social media, expressing interest in working with her. Believing her big break was just around the corner, she relocated to Atlanta, ready to embark on an exciting new chapter in her life. But unfortunately for her, things didn't exactly work out that way. And according to the court documents, under the guise of pursuing a legitimate recording and publishing contract with Miss Monroe, Dream lured the young and vulnerable artist into an abusive, violent, and manipulative relationship filled with physical assault, violent essay, and horrific psychological manipulation. The lawsuit claimed that The Dream made grand promises, talking about how he was going to transform Channy into a star on the same level as Beyonce and Rihanna, giving his history of writing for both superstars. However, instead of fulfilling these promises, it's looking like it turned out to be another Cassie and Diddy situation. And rather than helping Channy achieve stardom, he allegedly exploited her for his own selfish purposes. Y'all, even worse, he promised to have her open for Beyonce's tour, forcing her to diet and exercise excessively to prepare for the tour, which he never planned for her to do in the first place. The lawsuits went on to claim that instead of helping her with her career, Dream used Miss Monroe for his base desires, which manifested in violent, intimate acts and vicious psychological torture. For example, Dream locked Miss Monroe in a dark room adjacent to a recording studio, violently having intimacy with her, then leaving her alone, undressed in the dark for hours on end, returning to again have intimacy with her and demand that she tell him she loved him. Y'all, this is really dark. The lawsuit went on to list several instances of the Dream mistreating Shenaz, listing some horrific incidents. Dream forced Miss Monroe to drink excessive amounts of drinks by roughly pulling her head back by her hair and pouring alcohol down her throat. Dream frequently strangled Miss Monroe during aggressive sex, sometimes with his hands, and once using the collar of her dress. On multiple occasions, Dream choked Miss Monroe so intensely that she almost lost consciousness. Y'all, as terrible as this is and heartbreaking, it's not really that shocking considering the Dream's history of violence towards women. Back in 2014, when his ex-girlfriend was pregnant with their child, he was arrested for putting hands on her and trying to strangle her. Now, a decade later, he's facing similar accusations, and it's disheartening to see that nothing has changed. The lawsuit also alleges that the Dream would secretly record Shenaz during forced intimacy without her consent, using these videos to blackmail her into staying in line and keeping her mouth shut, threatening to ruin her career if she didn't obey. This tactic definitely mirrors what Diddy was allegedly doing to Cassie, and it's heartbreaking. Shenaz also claimed that he used this professional relationship with Beyonce to manipulate her and keep her in line. The document said he regularly used Miss Monroe's admiration for Beyonce as a way to manipulate Miss Monroe, telling her that the only reason he achieved such great success with Beyonce is because they created a sanctuary together, which allowed him to know Beyonce in a way that others could not, and consequently, he could write the best songs for her. He also told her that if she wanted to reach the same level of success as Beyonce, she needed to become as close to or closer to him than Beyonce. He said that meant that Miss Monroe should ask and follow his advice on everything, relying on him to be her main confidant and limit her inner circle to only those people he approved and trusted. This was clearly cultish and a ploy for him to alienate her from anyone who would have seen through this BS and helped her escape his manipulation. The lawsuit also said Dream led Miss Monroe to believe through manipulation and coercion that if she allowed him to completely control every aspect of her life, they could create the ultimate sanctuary that would surpass anything he accomplished with Beyonce or Rihanna. When she asked him what he meant by sanctuary because it doesn't make sense, he would say stuff like, "I'll let you know after we win 10 Grammys together. Right now, you just have to be free and let me undress you emotionally so I can know what's underneath your heart." Y'all, what does this even mean? He was also allegedly so controlling that he would text her stuff like, "You belong to me now. I'm your mother and your father and everything." And this is where things took an even worse turn. Remember how Cassie mentioned in her lawsuit that Diddy had enablers who allegedly facilitated his harmful behavior towards her and turned a blind eye? Well, according to Shenaz, the same goes for the Dream. She claims that his mistreatment of her was enabled by his record label, Contra Paris. And guess who's the co-owner of Contra Paris? None other than Jay-Z himself. Shenaz's lawsuit said his depraved behavior was facilitated by his record label Contra Paris LLC, as well as by Epic Records. The label Dream convinced to invest in Miss Monroe, despite the fact that he never intended to truly support her career trajectory, but instead wanted corporate funding to assist in his person transferring venture. The result of Dream's acts was that Miss Monroe's career was upended. Her career was taken from her without any explanation. Contra Paris never provided her any compensation, and every attempt to revive her career has been hijacked by Dream and those who support him. So not only did the label allegedly enable the Dream to mistreat her, but they also stripped her of her music and obstructed her path to success in the industry, which is incredibly cruel. At this point, we really need to talk about Jay-Z and why so many people surrounding him and in his inner circle are being exposed for these kinds of reprehensible actions. It kind of makes you think he has to be aware and definitely complicit in these behaviors, because it's hard to believe that he's surrounded by all these horrible people and remains completely innocent. Birds of a feather flock together. And it's starting to make sense why Jaguar Wright claimed that last year Jay-Z is even worse than Diddy. And considering Diddy's track record, that's definitely saying a lot.
Sean Carter is worse.
Uh-oh. Oh, man.
He's smarter. He's patient. He's not sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
This lining up people he calls friends and stepping to the side while they get hit by the guillotine for 30 years.
But y'all, here's the juicy tidbit. According to blogger Storm Monroe, Beyonce has reportedly been gearing up to leave Jay-Z.
What I've heard about them as a couple is that they've been living separate lives for a very long time. So they together, but they living separate. And part of the reason why they're already living separate lives, and we may actually see
this type of revelation really explains why she's been putting her back into her work these past couple of months. You know, dropping 2 albums in quick succession, launching her hair care line, and making numerous public appearances. With rumors swirling about another world tour in the works, it seems like she's busy collecting her coins for an impending exit. Looks like there's a storm brewing in the Beyonce Jay-Z saga. But y'all, this situation is sad and crazy. It's a whirlwind of information, and the fans have been all over it. They believe in comments saying, "I can't wait till the day I wake up and see Jay-Z has been exposed for his responsibility with Diddy and every other evil little thing he has done. Rock Nation, you will burn to the ground." I called it. I said after the Renaissance tour is done, I think it will be Jay's time to have the elusive mud stick to him. Nobody, regardless of how much money and power they hold, nobody should get away with being held to account. I think people will become emboldened to talk about Jay's dirty deeds. And when Jay-Z is exposed and is being sued and faces jail time, I will be effing there. That Jay-Z is responsible for a lot worse and is behind the scenes orchestrating the downfall of all his fellow superstars from the early 2000s. Y'all, this situation is absolutely crazy. Who would have thought that these people that we've idolized as rappers and artists for years were doing stuff like this? But I mean, nothing's been proven just yet, so I need to know what y'all feel about it. Drop your thoughts and comments below, and then check out this next video.